When I record podcasts, I like to stay hydrated. Who knew talking could be so hard? My favourite drink to have to hand is Lifeline's Hydro OG. It's a tried and tested product for me. It helped me and my team complete a 24-hour podcast, giving us the edge that we needed to get over the finish line. So whether you're at the gym, on a bike ride, or just trying to get over that night before, Lifeline's Hydro OG has got your back. Each serving is stocked with all the healthy ingredients and vitamins you could ask for. There are a great range of flavours, and with each serving at only 18 calories, you really can't go wrong. Here at the Shrewsbury Biscuit podcast, we like to support local, independent companies and brands, and Lifelines is a product that I am proud to endorse. Go to lifelines.com. Now that's LYFELINEZ.com to find out more. Now, without further ado, here is today's episode. Hey guys, back at it again. Thank you for tuning into the Shrewsbury Biscuit. I'm enjoying these little monologues before the show. Gives me an opportunity to say thank you to a few people and speak to a few people. First off, I want to say thank you to today's guests, Aaron Child and Becky Lisney. We recorded a Highly Flammable, and the little podcast room that Aaron's got there is wonderful. As a guy who's a bit of an audio freak, stepping into a room and not having any issues with audio is a bonus. If you're thinking of starting up a podcast and you need somewhere to go and record, maybe you don't have enough space in your place to do it, or you don't want to buy all the equipment, you just want to try it out, definitely find Highly Flammable on Facebook, or step inside and have a word with Aaron. He'll help you out, because if you was to fork out on microphones and headphones and mixers and stuff and realise you weren't into it, it's a bit of a dilemma, isn't it? Anyway, yeah, so thank you to them. The interview we recorded was probably one of the longest that we've done in a while, a long time, in fact, and it's just because me and Aaron have a great rapport anyway. Me and Becky, we have a really good chemistry. Whenever we chat, we could talk for hours. It's really good. So this episode is definitely worth hanging in on. It's really good. Also, I want to say a huge thank you to the Flora Lounge. On the 3rd, we're going to be doing an interview with Simon Bell. The great return of Simon Bell's coming back on the Biscuit. I'm just finishing up one of his books, which I started in October, but things have been so busy. But reading's a difficult thing for me these days. Never used to be. I seem to have to make time to read, which is insane when I think back. So, yep, the Flora Lounge, thank you for letting us go and use your upstairs there to record. Always wanted to record in there. I saw Andy O'Brien recording live music, and I saw they got this really nice, beautiful leather couch and the great backdrop with the wallpaper and the big paintings and stuff. I thought that's just an amazing place to record. Let's try that. So, yeah, that's what we're going to be doing. Jason from Bestival as well, Camp Bestival. I'm chatting with him at the moment. We're organising some work. We're going to be doing some interviews before the event, and I think the Shrewsbury Biscuit is going to be at Camp Bestival, which is going to be amazing. It won't be me. I'm going to Turkey, but I'm putting a team to go in my stead. So thank you to the guys at Camp Bestival. The Shrewsbury Biscuit will be there. This is it's been a fun week this week. I've had a real bit of positivity, and it's nice, isn't it? I mean, what do you guys do when you have like a week that's super positive? Do you run with it? Is it like too much to be true? Is it something that you struggle with when you have those positive weeks? I know some people do actually. That I can do. If I have something really good happen, I'll be like, oh, back to the doom and gloom. But I'm running with this. I'm running with it. We had a great week. A great meeting about future developments for the Shrewsbury Biscuit. Had my interview with Becky Lisney, which you're about to hear, and then I went out for beers with my good friend Jane Pickworth, Tony Reid, and Verity came along as well at Tap and Can. What a great place that is! Drinking the old Hell's Lager. But yeah, anyway, look, I'm not going to keep you guys for too much. I want to get on this episode. It's a very, very long one. If you're listening to the Shrewsbury Biscuit for the first time, please follow us on Facebook, on Instagram. Wherever you listen to the podcast, drop us a subscribe so you get a notification through whenever we get a new episode. Super important. And to everybody else that listens in every week, thank you so much. Yeah, I love you. Right, I'm going to leave you with this. Enjoy this episode, and if you have any comments or if you have anything to add to this, you know where to find us. Right, enjoy the show. I'll catch you guys soon. Peace out. Hi guys, and hi guys, and welcome to the Shrewsbury Biscuit podcast. I'm Alex Whiteley. On what is, I think, a very positive day. I'm feeling very, very good today, and we're doing a follow-up interview. Becky Lisney from Lilith.
Hello. Yeah.
In person this time.
In person. We have like a whole physical form.
Yeah. When I saw you, you were like, "Oh my god, you've got like a body and stuff."
Yeah, it's weird.
The last time we did this, we did it on the internet, interwebs, and I was just a box on a screen. Exactly. And I really loved your interview, your conversation about body positivity.
Yeah.
We had so many really good comments about that. You know, people really dig what you're doing at the moment.
Yeah.
And it's becoming a real talking point, isn't it, socially amongst people about embracing you as a human being.
Human, yeah, as a person, and not having to fill your time with worry and self-doubt. It's I think that's why it's such an easy message to spread. It's basically just be happy. Oh, okay. You can do that? Yeah. Yes, you can.
It's something I'm kind of training myself into. It's more like, I talk about my insecurities on the show all the time. My phone's beeping on the thing. I talk about my insecurities all the time. And it's a case of, I think, rewiring my brain into thinking, we were just talking about downstairs, people don't care.
People don't care.
They don't care.
In a nice way, nobody cares and nothing matters.
And I feel like if there's going to be an attack on something socially, I think attack on the Instagram, I say in air quotations, Instagram culture of look how amazing I am and look at these great angles I'm going to take all the time.
Yeah, 100%. It's about embracing reality and not this very manicured and cultured perspective that we like to create.
It's a bad culture to be in, isn't it? You know, to be, look how perfect my life is all the time.
I mean, I think we've done it long before the days of Instagram. You know, we've got phrases like "don't air your dirty laundry." I mean, you're not going to clean laundry, are you?
Yeah.
But you know, we've always had that kind of like the need to hide and present yourself as this perfected version. And there's different, even like Freud, you go back to the Greek period and they're talking about the different senses of consciousness and, like the hiding of the self and,
Yeah.
So it's just a very human thing. And I think we're at a point now where we can just be a bit more self-aware of, it doesn't matter.
No.
Show up as you are.
And don't get me wrong, nobody ever wants to take a picture on the days that they're feeling terrible. It's like, oh my God, I feel awful. Look at me. You know what I mean?
You should.
Yeah.
You should, 100%, because on the days where you are full of the flu and you look like crap, sure. You're tired, you haven't slept well.
No, I do not.
I'm sure you look glorious. I'm sure you look like, a god in full health. But I just think if you take pictures on the days where you don't feel good and you do look less good, then it gives you a better sense of things. Because what we do is we look back at pictures and we delete all the ones that are bad.
Yeah.
So then you get this sort of rose-tinted view of I used to look way better. Why did I look so good like a week ago or two, or like a year, 10 years ago? Because you kept all the good pictures and you deleted all the bad ones.
Yeah.
And your brain isn't geared to remember absolutely every picture that you take.
I mean, we were looking at my little boy the other day, and he's got like a kick up at the back of his hair, kind of like cowlick thing.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, that was me through the whole of high school. There's no pictures of me like that. There's no proof, because I'd always be like pushing it down, or don't take a picture of me when my hair's looking like that. So yeah, you're right. You need to document these things.
Yeah, and it doesn't need to go anywhere. You don't need to share those bad pictures, but just have them for you so that you get a better sense of, I'm not perfect and I don't need to be. Sometimes I look like this, sometimes I look like this, and accept the range. I think the beauty's in the range, not in the just the top end of the scale. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I think it's worth mentioning as well, we're here at Highly Flammable Studios, by the way.
We are in their new podcast room.
New podcast room.
Lovely.
So listen, there's nothing there. It's great sounding room. And also got to mention that I've been mentioning Highly Flammable an awful lot. They don't pay me to sponsor them. I'm friends with Highly Flammable Studios because when it comes to media and when it comes to what they're doing at Highly Flammable Studios, I am well on board with this because this is what I do. So Aaron Child is a very natural friend for me to make in this realm because it's what we do.
Can I ask, were you friends before they set up the studio?
Yeah, we met at studios a few times. Aaron is sitting here, he's nodding his head. Hi.
Hello, Aaron. I just would like to mention, though, I wasn't friends with Aaron beforehand.
Still not, are we?
Wow.
Jokes. Very good friends.
No, but I was looking at a place to host the gallery, and you guys had literally just popped up on the radar, weren't even open yet, and I marched in and was like, this is the space. Oh my God, these are the people. Like, they are such good, wonderful, wholesome, lovely, perfect little humans, and I love them so much.
That's very kind. Yeah, I think you were one of the first in the door, actually.
Yeah.
Literally, we were probably still painting the walls, and then you come.
Yeah,
but it was great
because you just hung the ceiling things up, and I was like, yes, no, I love these people. This is the space, and it's just such a wonderful environment.
That's kind. Thank you.
Well, the world is changing. The world is changing very quickly, and in fact, I'm working on an idea at the moment I can't talk too much about, but one of the premises is life has changed so quickly since in like 1940s, 1950s.
Absolutely, yeah.
And, when we talk about technology and how things have moved quickly, I think technology's moved quicker than anything in our lifetime at the moment. You think about when we were kids in the 90s, what have you, there was the smartphones, there was no internet, there was, but it's very basic.
And it's not a stable progression, it's completely exponential.
Bam!
It's just...
Yeah, so when it comes to how we enjoy things in life, media is right up there. When you think about TikTok, Instagram, when you think about websites, when you think about businesses, everybody's looking at the visual and the audio, and this is where Aaron Child steps in because
I'll take it. Yeah. Thanks.
And highly flammable because it's right where it needs to be. This is evolution of media.
Yeah, I think there's been a big step in a different direction with social media, with marketing, and with everything. And there's felt like, to me anyway, there's felt like a bit of a gap for a home for people who just want to make stuff. A nice space, a community space for digital artists.
What you've done is so versatile as well, though, because you've got a very professional end to it, and I don't want to use the word amateur because amateur does mean
accessible.
Yes. Well, it's just that we use the word amateur wrong. So amateur means to love, right? It's the form of amar, which means love. So
you know what? I didn't know that. That's lovely.
Amateur means somebody who does something because they love it, and that's a beautiful word. But we use it for somebody that's sort of starting.
We need a ding.
Yes.
We need a bell here because we need to things that we've learned.
I think I've got a bell in the studio somewhere.
I think I've got one somewhere from Pod Aid. Hold on.
The Did You Know bell.
That's rubbish.
Was that a glockenspiel?
Sounded like it. It's an old camera.
Oh, there we go. I was pressing the wrong button. We got a bell here somewhere. Where is it? There's. There we go. That's lesson number 1.
Worth the wait. That was
that was well overused. That was a pun bell from Pod Aid, which was a 24-hour podcast.
Yeah.
And we were just pun. Do
you mind if I just...
Who is your daddy?
Okay, that's different.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Some of them are a little bit sweary. I mean, we got...
Bruh.
the typical... then we got... That was what I'd usually use for a joke that Moose Cooper would make.
Mm-hmm. The bell to me sounds like a deli. It's sort of like an old-fashioned.
Yeah. Oh, someone's
deli
just popped in.
Yeah.
What would you like? Sandwich, sir?
Can I see your selection of cold ham?
I like that.
Oh, this is audio magic. I want to talk about Highly Flammable because I know you got a meeting to go to in a bit, and you're busy. You're a very busy guy. How quickly has the progression of Highly Flammable gone for you? Is it satisfactory, or is it dragging its heels? I mean, be honest. I mean,
where are we at?
Yeah.
I mean, it's an interesting one because my full-time job is filmmaker. I still class myself as a filmmaker. That's
you are
painter.
Yes,
I am, I guess. So Highly Flam was a place for me to kind of do more film work and explore more film stuff, but also open it up to the community so everyone else could use it. So getting that balance is always going to be something tricky because I would love to spend more time here, doing things. But I'm also doing a lot of film stuff too. But in terms of where we're at, it's great. The side that has kicked off, which we've been quite surprised about, is the events, exhibitions, workshops, that kind of thing. The people just come in and they feel like it's a warm, cozy kind of like living room kind of vibes, and they just want to hold events here, which is fab. But it's probably not the side we expected to get really busy straight away, but it is, and it's really nice.
Well, I think on the back of that, we were talking about, because we're talking about a possible podcast workshop, which I've been very vocal about, because I'm proud that we're going to be planning this. But on the back of that, you might find people want to use the podcast studio a little bit more.
Absolutely,
do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, I think because it isn't I think the concept of the studio is a little bit hard to wrap your head around until you step foot inside and you kind of you have a look around and you see all the different spaces and how it can be used.
Yeah.
So that's half the battle, is getting people in and understanding the concept.
Yeah, I think we were kind of quite prescriptive. So if you say studio, we just imagine it's a box room and it's got...
Studio is a word that explains an awful lot, doesn't it?
Yeah.
You can have a studio for everything. You can have a studio flat, for example. Do you know what I mean?
But we like labels, don't we, is what I mean. Like, we like a label. So what is it that your business does? What is the space defined as? And, we like nice, neat boxes. And so the idea of something that's versatile and open and use it how you need to use it. And it's sort of like the room of requirement, really, isn't it?
The room of requirement.
The room of requirement.
Pop on the website.
If you need a theatre studio, a dance studio, you've got James Broxton and Get Your Wiggle On, just opened around the corner, which I'm going to be organising an interview with him very soon, because what they're doing at Get Your Wiggle On over there around the corner is fantastic. Timmy goes there, he loves it. It's a wonderful place. And this is what I mean, like, things are evolving in a way that people are drawn to like things like theatre now, and the photography. Photography is like, I mean, we've always had photography as a thing that people enjoy, but I think with things like Instagram and the way that I think media is moving and the way companies using photography now is becoming a very popular thing. People love photography. I mean, that sounds like a very broad thing, but it's
Yeah, I think it gets messages a lot quicker and it sells easier. We were talking about this actually before. It's not about what you think. It's not about the words that you have to use. You have to be very careful when you're copywriting and make sure it's about feelings. And a picture can say way more in terms of feelings, like more than conscious thought can, And it's about when you look at a website, when you are looking at somebody online, like you're looking at your friend on Instagram or whatever. It's how you feel looking at those pictures.
Yeah, it's selling emotion, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's not the same with film. It's you can get across a lot quickly in the social media age by selling some emotion, whether that's an emotive picture that tells a story, or a bit of storytelling in marketing.
Well, film's especially good because you have sound with that, whereas photography is lacking in audio quality. But I mean, if you've ever watched a video, like a nature documentary with no sound on it, it's the most weird thing.
Or put your own soundtrack to it. Put Pink Floyd to it. That's Is that what you were going to say?
I was going down that kind of, let's just narrate it in our own. Yeah, so there's this deer walking through a wood, and then there's this bad dude, he's hiding there. Look, he wants the deer, and he grabs the deer, and the deer's like, oh my God, no, like...
Have you seen comedians narrate animals though?
Well, there's Aussie Man, isn't there? He's obviously the most famous person to do stuff like that with the horse and stuff. Yeah, it's fun. It's great.
Yeah.
It's a great idea. Let's just kidnap that idea and make it our own.
We could do it, yeah.
Absolutely.
Honestly, there's never going to be enough content of comedy over animals. Like, just Sarah Millican pretending to be a seal, and she's like, "Shut up! You know where I'm on nights." It's like, it's just fantastic. Or, I mean, everyone's seen. I think it's a chipmunk or something, and it's like Alan.
Yeah, Alan.
Oh, that's not Alan. That's Steve.
That's just
embedded. Oh no, it is Alan.
I blame YouTube for that. YouTube has brought things on so quickly, and now people are moving to the shorter burst videos like TikTok and YouTube Shorts. I mean, some of the stuff my son watches on YouTube Shorts is, I'm like, how are these people getting millions of views? And it's just because people go next. Next.
It's because of emotion. It's because of chemical dopamine. That's dopamining. TikTok is just dopamining. Like,
I hate to think what's going through my head. Like, okay, so I was watching the morning show on Apple TV, which is fantastic. Jennifer Aniston, and there's one episode where I was an absolute bag of emotions. I cry at everything anyway. I cried at Batman before. I have. And that's an animated movie as well.
Which one?
It was Dark Knight Returns. It's the one where Batman finally Joker finally dies, where he kind of snaps, and I'm kind of like, oh my god, he pushed into that moment, and it's taking all this time, and it was just like a weird thing. Like, when you follow the arc of Batman, and you're like, oh my god, he's finally snapped, and he's finally done a bit too much.
Yeah, we've all been there.
And then the Joker.
Do we need to talk?
Yeah.
Yeah, we offline.
I killed the Joker.
I cried at a song yesterday. It was Goldfinger. It was a remake of Superman from the 90s.
Okay.
And they redid it with Biffy Clyro. I didn't even know this song existed. It just played randomly on Google, and I was like, "Oh my god, this is everything I need right now." And
Biffy Clyro hits different now.
yeah, but with Goldfinger too. Oh come on!
This is where we're not friends anymore. I've never actually seen a full James Bond movie.
You're not.
No, the movie Goldfinger, the band. They sang 99 red balloons in the sky.
I know.
Yes, but yeah, they did that. Goldfinger were a great band. They were a ska band in the 90s.
Thanks for clarifying.
And they did a great, because they came back together during lockdown, and they were releasing the old songs, singing lockdown, and they did a great job. So, so photography is great. So how as far as the business is concerned, people using the studio, is that still growing then?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so the like I said, the events and workshops, great. Getting loads of kind of weekly courses. So people setting up like a course to teach something. They come and meet up every evening.
You've got such a variety as well. Like every Christmas you had wreath making, and then you've got
that was my mum.
Relationship coaches.
Shout out to Glory Goldsmith, my mother. Very good wreath maker and botanist.
Oh,
if you would call it that.
Yeah.
Florist.
Well, yeah. A florist is somebody that does more sort of like decorative flowers, and a botanist, I guess, is somebody that's growing them. Maybe for alchemy needs.
I think you did one of them, didn't we? A lesson then.
Love it.
Since Lilith began, how have things grown for you? Have you been impressed with how many people have followed you? Have you getting lots of nice comments and stuff?
Especially over the last sort of couple of weeks, sort of ramping up towards the gallery now, and then just all of a sudden, like loads of people are like, oh, interested, which is nice. I've had quite a restful winter, and I did need and sort of expect with outdoor shoots that it might go quiet.
Yeah.
I say that actually was up the I was going to say the article. So we were out doing a shoot in a very windy spot.
Oh, right.
Oh, boy.
A couple of weeks ago, obviously January. It was freezing, bless her. But she was like game for doing it. So
that's great.
I was like, sort of halfway up a massive hill. And
oh, my gosh.
It was so steep, honestly. I thought we nearly went a couple of times.
Oh, no.
Oh, my gosh.
It's not what you want.
It's for the art, though.
Just do it for the art.
It's totally worth it. Do what you got to do to get that shot.
Honestly, we were walking around and the sun hit the side of this hill, and then I was gazing up at it thinking, oh my goodness, it's just beautiful. I'd love to go up there. But it's I very much like client focus. You don't want to take them anywhere that they'd be uncomfortable, or you know what I mean. And it's a very exposed side of a hill with the sun beaming down.
Yeah. Do you find it's part of your job to kind of push people out of their comfort zones a little bit?
Yeah, it's hard to balance though, because you want to push, but you don't want to snap.
Make them uncomfortable.
Yeah. And so it's very much up to them. Like I'm here to encourage you, but if you need to decide where your boundaries are and where you're comfortable and not. So
absolutely.
So yeah, I'll always encourage.
Yeah.
And how does it feel to do a lot of women feel liberated because of that?
Yeah, very much so. In fact, the last lady said that she kind of wished she'd pushed herself further. So which was nice. I mean, she just wants to do it again, and it's more of a journey. Then it's not just like a one-time thing. It's actually a process of learning to love yourself, learning to push yourself, and challenge yourself. Like, where are those boundaries? Can I push what I think I'm capable of? And yeah, it's really wonderful.
I think we all need that sometimes. I mean, I definitely need that, because I feel like if I turn up to a thing and somebody goes, no, you're doing this, rather than would you rather, I think I'd just be like, I'd be more inclined just to agree with someone, because I don't like conflict. I'd be like, okay, I'll do it. Yeah. That doesn't mean, by the way, I'm easy to be mugged or anything like that. I'm just saying.
Give me your wallet.
I'm just saying that sometimes I need that a bit of assertiveness. But everybody's different, aren't they? And I guess it's up to you to judge on where you can do
somebody
that.
And the way that they're reacting, the way that I feel like they're feeling, and just go with how it feels at the time, I think.
That's true.
Like she was ready afterwards. She wasn't ready at that point. So she gets the photos back, and then she wishes that she'd pushed herself further, but she wasn't ready at that point to push herself further. So I didn't push. And I'm like, that's how you feel now, because you've done that.
Yeah.
You know.
But that's great that you have
Yeah.
the ability to then move on to the kind of next step. So they've got their head around it a little bit more. And it's all part of the process, isn't it?
That's it.
You know,
It's about. I always tell people it's nice to have the pictures from the shoots, right? It's always nice to have the evidence. It's evidence that your brain can't fight. Like, yes, you do look good, right?
Yeah.
That's the hardcore of it. But the actual thing that is the sell really is the shoot itself. It's getting out into nature for an hour and not having to think or do anything else.
Yes.
It's wonderful. It's getting to have that one-on-one sort of, it's almost like a coaching experience of self-love and self-development and having that peace and quiet to just think about how your body feels, listen to the wind, feel the ground beneath your feet, and just exist without pressure, without like stress, without, you know what I mean, like expectation. It's just...
But nature does that anyway, doesn't it? You know, the grounding effects of being out there and being one with nature. And what kind of clientele are we? I mean, it must be a mixture of, I am powerful, let's do this, Dave, you know, or maybe there's something I can do to sort of reach that sort of peak I need to get, you know, with your clients. Do you get a mixture of people that need that kind of... we were talking about dopamine, or we talking about that kind of acceptance. Yes, I am powerful, as opposed to, I'm going to go do this because I'm powerful. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I think you get a little bit of both. I think most women come in and they're excited and they can't believe they're kind of doing it. Like, what am I? I'm crazy. Stop. Like, if people knew what I was doing right now, I'm going to meet my mum for lunch later, and I'm just, you know what I mean? And it's a very weird feeling to sort of have that experience and then carry about your normal day. But I think most women come in feeling like it's going to help and it's going to make them feel more like the woman that they want to be.
Yeah. I feel I would compare I'm speaking to a base jumper next week, which is great. But I would compare someone saying to me, right, let's take some tasteful nudes, Whiteley, right? Get your kit off. We'll put something in front of your junk and let's go. I would compare base jumping to that. That's the adrenaline I would feel.
Yeah.
So hats off to anybody that goes and does it. Aaron's nodding at me.
Yeah, absolutely.
The adrenaline that you feel.
But that's the beauty of it. Sort of like base jumping is that here is this risk. Your body and your brain know it's a big risk, right? You've been told it's a big thing your entire life, and here it is a risk. And once you've taken that risk and you realise that there are no consequences, or the only consequences are
that
good.
wasn't too bad.
They're freedom and it's liberation and it's fun and it's silly and it's, you know, then you get to go, oh, well, my brain was being silly. You can be quiet, you know what I mean? And it's a really liberating feeling to get over fear.
It's a good metaphor for a lot of things in life, I think. And you talk
Absolutely.
about life coaching and how this kind of is like coaching. It's kind of like, no, you can do this.
Yeah.
I feel like there are many parts of our own lives individually going about doing our daily thing, whether it's Aaron out there with a camera, at an event, getting people smiles on the camera. What do you prefer to do? I mean, like, you get a lot of festival stuff where people are happy, but there's also capturing emotion on camera as well, which is really important.
Yeah, that's an interesting question. And it does change, to be fair. I do love shooting festivals. You know, that's fun. It's trying to capture a personality of a festival in a film is great, you know.
Is that where your heart lies? Because as a filmmaker and photographer, you kind of get offered lots of jobs and you go, okay, I'll take some pictures of business portraits, whatever it is, you know, and your heart it's not.
I wouldn't say my heart's in it. I'd say I use those as my playground, you know. They're like
fun.
That and, you know, food and drink businesses. I love shooting in them because it's fun. It's just personality focused.
Yeah.
But you know what? I'm still discovering like the actual types of film I like to do. But I really love campaigns. So like big projects where lots of
Hello.
it's very cozy in here. Where lots of films or things work together to make a big project come to life, you know. So there's a community feeling to it. So I love that kind of thing. That's, you know, the studio is kind of like that.
Yeah.
But I've got an event coming up in October, which is a very long time away. But we did it 6 years ago, I want to say, and we're revisiting it.
Yeah.
We're bringing it back from the dead, and it's called Day of the Decaf. Right?
Oh,
and the original was a zombie short film competition.
Oh, you mentioned this.
Yeah. Where filmmakers team up with coffee shops and make a zombie film in the coffee shop. So it's like a weird bit of marketing for the coffee shops and a really cool little playground for
do you know what?
That's so cool. When is that? October?
Around Halloween, yes.
Oh,
So we'll probably have a big screening here at the.
I've had a massive idea, a really good idea for that.
yeah.
Well, my social anxiety playing into a zombie thing would be I've been bitten, right?
Yep.
And I'm sitting in a busy coffee shop trying not to make a fuss. And I know I'm about to turn into a zombie, and I'm like,
Very British. Yeah.
sorry. I'm trying not to turn into...
Honestly, I'm fine. Don't worry.
Yeah.
I'm fine.
Yeah. And then,
Don't accept help on any level. Are you sure?
The towels here.
are you okay, sir? Yeah, I'm fine. Do
Just bring you to the
Seem to be
hospital.
dribbling.
No.
you have any cream? Brains. No, cream.
I'll have a flat white, please, with a side of brains. I mean, granola.
So I wouldn't go for the straight, like, zombies breaking for the door. It's just me sat in a coffee shop trying not to turn into a zombie.
Yeah, man, I like
That
that.
could be cool.
Yeah.
I'll
Well,
just give my idea away.
this
And
year's
is a
theme.
competition, is it?
Yeah, it's a short film competition. Yeah,
right.
and it's.
I win. Already.
Sorry, guys, the event's cancelled. Alex's won.
What's the prize? What do I win?
Yeah, a little,
What is the prize?
little trophy?
Trophy.
Oh,
But for the last one, we made a great guy called Dan Knorr actually created a zombie hand sculpture holding a cup of coffee with an eye floating in it. It's so cool. And yeah, that was the prize. It's like a trophy. Massive.
Gross.
I know, right?
It's so
I love it. Gross stuff is great. But this year's is going to be called Cheese on Ghost. So it's ghost stories as opposed to zombies.
That's amazing.
Okay, so my idea can't be used.
Well,
It'd be me trying not to be a ghost.
which
in a
would
coffee
be
shop.
easy because no one
Yeah.
will see you.
Yeah. I guess you could flip it on the head, here's me, and be like, okay, I'm not socially anxious anymore. Now I want to be seen.
Yeah,
And I'm a
exactly.
ghost, and I'm like, hello.
You finally get your confidence and you can't. Nobody
dead.
sees you. Yeah, you're dead, mate.
It's a very dark turn, but
It
yeah.
is, but
Yeah, I think I've got an idea for that.
there we go.
Yeah.
See, these kind of things are so much fun. There's no pressure with this competition.
Oh,
it's
it's
not like
fun, though.
show how good a filmmaker you are. It's like let's
Tell
have
a
fun.
story.
Tell
Do
a
you know
story.
what?
Be
It's
silly.
telling a story. It doesnthis matter. This
Yeah.
is the thing. I get asked a lot. Like, you might get asked, like, what kind of podcasting equipment do you have? And can you tell me more about like what films? Like, it doesn't matter what camera you have. Shoot something on your phone. There are entire feature films shot on phones at this
too
point.
right.
You know what I mean? Just tell the story. It doesn't matter how good the image quality is to an extent.
Yeah.
We all watched TV in the 90s. Like, we've seen it,
Exactly.
and before that. So just
Yeah.
yeah.
Use what you got with you.
It's not about the special effects. Like Jaws is one of the most like top films of all time, and they didn't show the shark because they couldn't. The tech was just not there.
Not there at the time.
No.
Who's the guy that did the film with it? Was it Sholto Copley? He recorded a whole action movie on a phone, but they said that, but there was like it was on top of a $25,000 rig. It was like it was on a phone, but it was like being So, but yeah,
Okay, on lights. Yeah.
yeah.
There's quite a few now. There's
Yeah.
quite a few feature films.
Yeah.
I mean, they're not as you're not going to get them at the cinema, but there's a lot of films.
There'll be
that
no
are made
Harry
on a
Potter
phone.
movies. It's going to be like your
Yeah,
Well, give it another 10 years. or
GoPros
so,
and stuff.
You know.
absolutely.
I applied for a job a few days ago. I'm looking for jobs in the media and stuff. And one of the questions was, what software do you use to create podcasts? And I'm very proud in the fact that I can create this stuff with software that's free, and so can everyone else. So I'm a big champion for things like Audacity. I mean, if
Yeah.
you've used audio before, Audacity is like God level. Like everyone's used it, you can do exactly what you need to do. But then people are like, "Oh yeah, but I use Adobe because I don't." Aaron's looking at me like, "Yeah, I've got Adobe."
Yeah, but Adobe's
I don't like
really
Adobe
good.
Audition.
I like it.
Yeah, the sound one I've always struggled with though.
Yeah.
The Audition one.
I mean, you can't Premiere Pro though.
Premiere Pro's
It's very expensive, and it's like, yeah, do you want to sell a kidney? Just have the whole Adobe package. You know,
love or hate relationship
Yeah.
with Adobe, to be honest.
and then for video,
fair.
I use
Yeah.
a program called Caden Live, which is just it's free and it does pretty much everything that Adobe does. So I mean, you can do these things for free, and I'm proud about that. You can do that, but I guess it's the same for everything in life. There are ways to do things freely and stuff.
But if it doesn't impact the quality of it, which it doesn't, you've got great mics, you've got a great setup, you've got the environment controlled, then it's going to sound good. And it's all about the content.
Yeah. Have I ever told you about the legend of the orange snowball? What I started off on.
This is such a curveball
intrigued.
sentence.
Is
What?
this another short film idea?
No. This is how I started in podcasting, right?
Okay.
So I had an orange snowball Yeti, right, which is a microphone.
Oh, yeah.
Snowball
Okay,
Yeti,
yeah.
and that's what I used to record on. And it was such a small microphone. Like if it was on the table now, I'd have to bend my head right down and get right into it. I'd have to prop it up. I made a mic stand out of an old lamp, the Pixar lamp, and
Oh, yeah, nice.
it was great. this snowball, I eventually created so much good stuff with that. I was able to get funding to get new equipment for the biscuit, which was great, right? And then Tom Bruno, I met him. He's in Vermont in America, and we were like, let's do a podcast together. I was like, okay, he's like, I haven't got a microphone. I've got one I can send you. So I sent this snowball in a shoebox all the way to America, which he then used on the podcast together. And then we brought in a correspondent in Florida. He then sent that from Vermont to Florida. So this little snowball microphone got sent all the way around the world.
Yeah.
We made some sexy content with that. It was great.
Survive.
Yeah, we did.
Still got it.
So there we go. No, it's in Florida. Eric Pfluger's got it. Good artist friend there.
Nice.
Who I keep
If
saying.
you're listening, Eric, we need that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it needs to go in a museum.
Alex wants his snowball.
What did you start with photography?
I actually started on a Sony Ericsson phone. I just
Love it. That's what.
yeah, I think you do. You need something that's accessible and fun. I started taking pictures of bugs and flowers and stuff, but I mean, flowers are pretty, but they are actually quite alien. They're weird looking things. A lot of that, when you get up close, they're weird. I mean, you've got like the stamens, which is obviously the sex organ of the flower. Like, they're just weird. And I think the weirder the flower was, the more interested. Like the cornflowers, if you've seen those, they're nuts. I'll show you a picture of a cornflower.
Are they the phallus-shaped ones?
No, they're like a...
Have you seen those ones that you touch them and they spray out? They look like, yeah. I was talking about...
Are you sure there's a flower?
You not just found somebody in the woods.
I think...
This is at a club?
Maybe.
Maybe there was just a strange
I was-
one in
was
the garden centre.
Maybe.
I was talking about
okay.
Yoshi.
It's okay, Alex.
We're taking this very seriously. Do you need to talk about a traumatic experience?
I've been
in the
sniffing the
garden
wrong flowers.
Dude.
Had to go there, sorry.
Oh dear.
Where's the daddy button?
Yeah.
Yeah. Is it a bit late? Does it work if it's a bit too late?
Yeah, it does, yeah.
Who is your daddy?
There we go, it
And
works.
What does he do?
Right,
There you go, Arnold.
Why does what he does? It's important.
It's always important.
My dad's a water treatment consultant, so that's, ooh.
Oh, nice. My dad
Okay.
makes chess sets and that.
That's so cool.
Pretty cool, yeah.
Oh, my dad is make sure no one has Legionnaires.
My dad does that too.
Does he?
No, he doesn't.
Well, he's done an amazing job. I don't know anyone with Legionnaires.
Magic chess sets.
My dad's a baker in Ireland. He makes
Oh.
bread.
You win.
Yeah.
That's
Well,
pretty cool.
He works at a coffee shop called Organico, and they make bread for people that are vegan, bread for people that are got intolerances to things.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. Oh,
What a noble cause.
love that.
That's so noble.
You go, Dad, if you listen to this, you're noble.
You are
Absolutely
noble.
you're a noble man.
And-
Please send some vegan bread.
On the topic of flowers, I was chatting to my son yesterday. We were talking about Yoshi from Nintendo because
Yeah.
he's
Yeah.
asexual.
Is it?
He's asexual.
Oh,
Isn't he a
nice.
turtle?
Nice.
He's an iguana, but he's
Oh.
he's asexual.
Okay.
Cool.
And I was talking about flowers being asexual
Yeah.
because they're both male and female, and frogs turn asexual. And his face was like,
Oh,
they're both boy and girl at the same time.
Whole
Nature
new
is so
world.
weird. Clownfish, they'll have like they get bigger as they get older, but the biggest one will be the female, and they'll just sort of take turns. So in Finding Nemo is a really weird message because
Yeah.
actually,
Oh, yeah.
actually, Marlin would have just become the female, and Nemo
Yeah.
would have just.
Me and Lana do that.
That's a very different.
That's a clownfish orgy right there. That's a thing. You can see it on the show. Amazing. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, snails are the same. Like
Yeah.
they'll just sort of pick who's going to be the girl and who's going to be the boy at
Yeah.
the time. You know,
That
Take
is the way
turns.
forward, isn't it?
Now we got.
that's what equality looks like.
Yeah, come on. 10 years, I'm telling you. 10 years time, we'll have Hollywood movies on phones and we'll just be choosing our...
Or maybe the dad in Finding Nemo was just very confused. He's just got a very short-term memory.
He was confused in the film.
Yeah, he was very confused. I heard a fan theory about that song. That's about death, and that
Oh,
Nemo.
the Nemo had actually, because it means no
died.
one in Latin.
Yeah,
Nemo.
yeah.
Oh,
Ding.
that's nice.
Yeah, there you go. You got it. You found it.
Nemo.
You found my ding. And now a really important question is, how did the great Aaron Child start out? What equipment did you start with?
Ooh.
And how old were you?
Well, I went to uni to study performance and media because I thought I wanted to be on stage. I thought I wanted to be a musical theatre.
Yeah, I could see that though.
Thank you, I think.
No, I thought you were saying thank you. I think we can see you're a media student.
Yes, I do. I've got that look, haven't I? The moustache. I didn't really think about making films much in the first year, but we started to hire out the cameras because that was the best part of uni. And we used to make each other birthday videos. So every year we'd make, like there's three of us, three friends, and we'd make each other ridiculous birthday videos, and we learnt filmmaking through that.
Yeah.
They weren't for anyone else. They were just...
Yeah, but learning should be fun, though. Like, you're going to learn more if you're engaged and having fun.
Well, nobody else saw it. It was just us three would get together.
I think we should, though. We should definitely see some of this content.
I'll see if I can find it. I think it was before... YouTube was around, but we didn't put anything on YouTube. This is old. This is before like DSLRs.
So coming to Highly Flammable soon in workshop, Aaron Child, the boy. The boy. Yeah.
His surname's Child, you don't need that.
Yeah, exactly.
Aaron the
child.
The boy child. Thank you.
There we go.
Thanks. There we go.
We did it.
But sometimes the girl, if we're asexual and we're going down that road, you get to pick.
Bit of suspense. We're just going to carry on pressing with these. We're like one of those 90s radio shows with the missiles and stuff like that.
I love it.
And what advice would you give to any sort of budding filmmaker that's got a few things lying around, an old camera, an old DSLR or something, and they want to get into this? I mean, obviously college and it is the right, correct thing, but what if you haven't got that at your disposal?
Yeah, I wouldn't say curriculums are the best way to get your head round a creative career. Not having to go at school systems or anything like that. But I think it takes a while for you to find your footing and find actually what you enjoy and what your style is. And that's really important too, is not to... if you see something that you think is cool online, you can feel the urge to replicate it. But I think actually to just play around with as much as you can, and figure out what your personality is. I think a lot of people, photographers, filmmakers, potentially, worry a little bit about sharing their secrets. I mean, you've got a lot of secrets, to be fair, with yours.
Well, I have no secrets.
No, you don't.
No, I only keep my location secret just so no one can come along.
That's for a very good reason, to be fair.
Yeah.
But I think the more people are able to explore their, what their style is, what their personality is when it comes to filmmaking, photography.
I never understood that, though. I never understand why people wouldn't share that, because I feel like if someone knows you're a certain type of the thing that you are, they might be like, "Oh, I'm looking for that type of person."
Yeah, well, that's a big thing I'm trying to support here, is this mentality that you don't have to be just like an independent filmmaker. Everybody else is competition. I think if everybody is confident in their own style and knows what they want to be doing, has their own niche, has their own kind of, it might be, we can all do everything, but I don't me personally, I don't want to shoot weddings.
I don't really want to.
I wouldn't hire Michael Bay to make a rom-com. Well, exactly. Do you know what I mean?
And there's some videographers out there who do
action.
There's nothing.
Oh no, she did it. Needed
that's good. I'm not very good at the button personally.
To be fair, I've labelled these weird, to be fair. But you've got to know where you are as a creator before you can make what...
Well, do you know what? I think we get brought up in a world that was, it's a dog-eat-dog world, and you've got to be the best in the class. You need to be a star. You need to be... You know what I mean? And anything is seen as competition. Mm-hmm. So we've had that as kids. That's the narrative that we're brought up with. Yeah. The narrative our grandparents and parents were all brought up with is you need to win and everybody else needs to get crushed underneath you.
It's the same in education too, right?
Absolutely,
you compare grades, and if it's somebody might express themselves in the most incredible way but doesn't fit the brief, and then they get a lower grade.
Exactly.
It's a weird thing to base your self-esteem and your confidence on.
Whereas, how well everybody else is doing.
Yeah. Whereas if you're truly putting your personality out there in a fun way, telling stories or doing pictures the way you want to.
It takes a while to unlearn that. Like even I've got still sometimes I've got this community of women, and there's now 4 other photographers in this group, and I'm like, my instant reaction was like, oh no.
Yeah.
Oh no, I've lost my group. I'm not unique anymore. I'm not the only photographer. And it's really irritating, actually. I love her to absolute pieces, but there's one woman, and she'd barely held a camera before. She comes out and does some photography with me. She's got a much better camera too. It's such envy. And then my immediate response was, she's better.
Yeah, but it's just...
I need to just chill out. Yeah, exactly. It's just a fear response. Well, no, she does a different stuff.
I feel that. I feel that.
Yeah.
I get that all the time.
Yeah. And it's self-checking. It's not bad that I felt that way, but it's checking that actually that's just a feeling and it doesn't do anything else other than,
I think
that's okay.
a big thing that I realized a while back is it's not all down to that end product, you know, right? It's the experience, which you are doing like in a massive amount. You know, what you're giving to people is more than just a photo shoot. It's,
exactly.
You know, it's building self-confidence. It's all this. So like that is
Base jumping.
Yeah, it's just as big a part of that, you know, that choice to have you as a photographer as it is anything else. You know, what you're like, what your personality is, how you are on a set, you know.
Well, I read, I can't remember who shared it, and it's like you can't base your you can't base your career on you don't have to base your career on your success. Sometimes you can be a victim of your own success.
100%, yeah.
I mean, this is a weird pull, but Chuck Lorre, sitcom creator, created Big Bang Theory, lots of other things, 2.5 Men, but he became an asshole because of his success, and
or it's
it became
the
a
other
toxic environment because of
Jim
that.
Carrey was very successful and made so much money and so many people happy, and then actually he became a victim in a different way of like this is such a big stature that I now have to live up to all of the time, and I can't, and it's just
I feel that with the biscuit. I'm so powerful, so
the imposter syndrome.
Alex Whiteley is a construct. Like, you know, just
it's more of a thought than a thing.
It's a projection.
If you're going to build a statue of Alex Whiteley, we have to put some thought into what you're actually going to use to represent me, because my face just won't do it.
Yeah.
So people listen to my voice,
Absolutely.
right?
Yeah.
It's just a
So it has to be abstract.
Yeah.
So we're going to create
And you can't just chuck a big
statue of
cookie.
what we feel like when we listen to you.
How about a glass of tears?
Tears.
That's
Tears of joy.
Some of your you just seem to cry a lot. That's all.
I do.
From our earlier conversation.
Batman
and
and Goldfinger, which apparently nobody's have heard of.
I thought you talk about James Bond and Boy.
It's a particular name, isn't it? That can be
Which I only know about Goldfinger because I watched Austin Powers, which is Gold member, obviously.
gold.
Oh yeah. Oh, I think you're talking about King Midas as well.
Yeah. There's that.
The man with the golden touch. Yeah.
Speaking of Midas and turning things into gold, when did you start to realise your successes in filmmaking and how you knew?
It's a good question.
What do you count as success? That's a tricky one, isn't it? I think I started out making films as soon as I came out of uni, but I was doing them for like 20 quid. You know?
Yeah.
Like as most creators started out doing. But I remember the first job I did, I was just having fun with it, you know. It was somebody I met at the market hall. In fact, Turtle Doves, who are now absolutely huge, you know, kicking ass.
I met the owner of Turtle Doves. I've forgotten his name. Went around his house.
Yeah. There you go.
I did. Went around his house.
Not the same guy as the flower with the stuff for coming out. No,
Yeah.
different.
No.
It's Graham. I'll see if he can come to you.
Gary Drew was doing a thing in his Gary Drew's a famous artist that did the flamingo outside social, and he was doing a mural in his because I was going to start filming basement like cellars and things, places you can't go in Shrewsbury. I was going to make a series of that, and there was still an idea to do that. And
I
he was
like that idea. Places you can't go.
Yeah, and then you just scan a QR code on the door and stuff, and you get a video to the.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
That's fun. That's very interesting.
Nobody steal my idea.
Do you know what? That's such a weird human response. I'm sorry, we can't do something. Immediately allow me. Like, I need to do that. Like, no, you can't. But now I want to. No, you can't go.
Yeah.
Gary Drew was very much like, I'm at the guy who owns Turtle Doves in his house and doing a thing in his cellar. It was really cool. Come take a look. And so I went around a couple of.
You went in his cellar?
Yeah.
Oh, cool. Right. That makes sense.
Yeah. So
That's wild, isn't it?
yeah. And
People just have these cellars, like.
Shrewsbury's full of them.
Shrewsbury, yeah, it does have
Full of
lots
them.
it,
Have you
which
got a
is
cellar
weird
here?
For a town
I
that floods so
might.
much.
I might have a cellar. I'm on a hill, so maybe.
You just no access to it.
I don't know. I've never looked. We've got a little dungeon down the bottom with a couple of creatures down there. Do you guys?
Yeah.
Did I not tell you about that?
Yeah. That's where the name Highly Flammable comes.
Yeah. They
Baby
do.
dragons.
Mm-hmm. They spontaneously combust every now and then. And then they were born out of the ashes. You guys.
Is that painful or? Is it,
if you're standing on it,
yeah,
hurts your feet.
fair enough.
Aaron Child, how do you build on success? How, you feel like there's got to be a point to you when you're younger to feel like, okay, I've done it now, I'm successful, but you can't just bathe in that. You got to keep going, keep going forward.
It's everybody's. I think everyone's definition of success is going to be different, and I think what my first feeling of success was to have my own place, to have an office, to have my own car. This is like out of uni. And then 2 years, 3 years in, I got that. And I was like, I've got everything I need. And I wasn't happy. I was like, what am I missing? And then I just kept working and burnt out. I didn't really have much of a social life at that point. And then I went traveling for a year, the usual find yourself traveling.
Yeah.
But I did realize that actually what made me happy was working on ethical projects, projects that help people that I enjoy, that it's a nice, relationship you have with the people that you're making films with. And that was much more important to me than making money.
Yeah.
Actually feel like you're creating something that's good and positive.
Yeah, I like to think that there's a couple of reasons why anybody does anything at all. And it's either because it makes us happy or it provides meaning.
Yes.
And sometimes, sometimes the two go hand in hand. Like that's what Lilith is for me. It makes me happy. It's something I enjoy doing as an activity, but it also provides so much meaning for me and other women. And it's the meaning that's that's the meaty part. Happiness is fleeting. It's a feeling, and it's nice that it comes and it goes. It's like every other feeling, but meaning is what's left behind without the feeling.
Yeah,
I guess it's hard to you can measure your success via your social media and whether you're doing well in business. But the success I feel from you is how you make people feel, right?
Yeah, it's how do I feel? And how do I make other people feel?
Yeah.
So my measure of success is, it doesn't really matter. I don't do this for the money, right? I've got like a day job, I have a day job, everyone. It's so cool.
Not for long. She's very good, guys.
Well, I mean...
Unless you want to keep it.
Yeah, because it's landscape architecture. I'm really passionate about that as well.
She's not going to be freelance.
Maybe like
soon,
half
guys.
and half.
Yeah.
She'll be like, they'll be like, we've got this orchard at the back we want to build on, and then you'd be like,
yeah,
photo shoot.
There we go.
Do my own photo shoots, my
together.
own landscape.
Yeah.
Yes, I love that. Well, that's a niche.
That
is a niche.
Totally forgot now.
Sorry,
I'm
we
just imagining
derailed you.
orchards.
Apple orchards with naked ladies.
Guys, I'm going to have to love you and leave you.
No, you've got a thing to do. Thank you so much for chatting to us, Aaron.
Yeah, thanks for being here.
Well, I've loved it, and it's nice to have Chris in the podcast room with you guys.
It's very good. If anybody's listening to this and they want to have a go at recording a podcast, Aaron's got microphones. Also got me as well. I think I'm going to be a bit of a a bit of a go-between. Sort of like a.
Even if it's not a full-on podcast, they've got like a little nook that you can go in and just record sound bites.
Yes, yeah, absolutely.
Get your M&S voice out,
For sure,
absolutely. And
this isn't just any podcast.
for somebody who's a bit of an audio freak, if you listen to my last podcast, I had to stop halfway through to change my microphone because I could hear the electricity running through the walls. I was like, this won't do.
Oh no, yeah, that's the thing, isn't it? You can hear everything with these mics.
Do you know not everyone can hear electricity though?
No.
Yeah, not everyone can hear it. It's the weirdest thing. I thought everyone could hear it because I can hear it. Like if you're asleep and you've got your phone charged, and I'm like, it drives me insane.
When a plug hisses.
Yeah. Not everyone can hear that.
No.
It's weird.
I've got very acute hearing, and I think that probably helps me with my editing and stuff. I can hear things, and I can run a noise reduction through audio, which probably means nothing to a lot of people listening to this. Again and again, and I have to keep going, and then sometimes I'll go a bit too far, it'll distort the voice, and I'm kind of like,
yes, you've got to step away and then come back. Don't you?
Then I have to break out the noise gates. The noise gates. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh, I know the noise gates.
The noise gates. We've got to find that.
Got to keep the beast at bay.
Thank you so much
for
everything you're doing
absolute
for
pleasure.
creators in this town.
For sure. I think we need to chat about... Oh, yeah, for sure. I like it. We need to chat about... I want to do like a workshop or an open day that's just like a tester. And this is something we've spoken about, right?
Yeah.
I don't know whether this is the right forum to talk about it, but I'm very excited about that. Just to almost give people a taste to see what it's like, because it is really fun, actually, sitting with a mic and having your headphones on and having a chat. Like, I think there's a lot of businesses and a lot of people that could really benefit from it.
Well, one of the things I love to do with the Shrewsbury Biscuit is I create conversational medleys, collections of conversations put together. Maybe on your open day, we can create a conversational medley.
There we go. Yes. Podcast, HFS conversational
What a fruitful
medley.
forum this has been.
So fruitful. So many fruit, guys.
Please make that a soundbite. So fruitful.
Done.
All right.
We'll see.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye, man. Have a great day.
Yes.
I'm going to mute your mic.
Your meeting.
Yeah, no problem.
I'm going to mute you.
Say bye, everyone.
So back to you with Lilith.
Yes.
Since we last spoke, See you later, Aaron. He's gone. He's actually gone this time.
Yeah.
With you, since the last time we
let's talk
spoke.
about me. We haven't done that enough, have we?
We haven't done that enough. How have things gone since the last time we spoke? Have things grown for you?
When was the last time we spoke? Was it
It was
September?
late last year, September, yeah.
September? Okay.
Something like that. I'll just take your word for it.
I don't remember. It was at some point.
Not an agree, boys. Not an agree.
Before the present. Yeah, good. I think it's growing at a nice steady rate, one that I can, because I've got, a whole life outside of Lilith.
Of course,
I've got
yeah.
my job and my kids, and I try and have a social life and things. So yeah, it's growing at a nice pace that I'm comfortable and steady with. I'm getting lots of interest, and do you know what? I've actually maybe experienced a little bit of guilt around the fact that I've not had any trolls or negativity. This isn't an invite, by the way, but
Yeah.
just that.
Don't you dare.
No one's been very adverse, or if they have, they've been very quiet and sort of unfollowed and just sort of quietly left, which is very nice. But I've never had any. I've not had abuse online.
Instagram is a weird thing because I get that as well. I get like 10 people follow me on Instagram, 20 in a day. And I'm like, oh, this is wicked. And then they're gone. And then they're back again. And then they're gone. Instagram's a funny thing.
Yeah. I tell you what, I did panic actually. Instagram it had one day where there was a bit of an error or something, and loads of people's accounts were just booted. Do you remember? It was a couple of months ago.
I think I remember something.
And I must have lost like 100 people or something stupid.
Facebook did something like that like 2 years ago. I had like 3,000 followers.
Yeah.
And they're like, no, we're going to switch it up. And then they took like 1,500 people off me.
Oh my goodness.
And I was like, oh, okay.
Honestly, I thought, what have I posted? What have I done that's made 100 people go, no, I don't like that. You know what I mean? Like, oh, what have I done?
I think
and it was just interesting.
And this is the thing that I need to stop doing is stop living off analytics. And it's a genuine thing. Like the Biscuit is doing, like, I'm not just saying this because it's my podcast, I want people to hear it. The Biscuit's doing really well and I'm very proud of it. It's growing exponentially. But there'll be days when I'll get like 5 or 10 downloads in one day and I'm kind of like, what is this? Oh my God. And I'll get my hair off. But I'm like, but yesterday you had 300 downloads. Do you know what I mean? Like, And like, I find that's just a very weird way to live, is living on numbers on an app.
I think what you've got to do is, I mean, if you want to, but just see that as still 10 people. That's still 10 more people that want to listen.
When I first started, and we'd get like 100 downloads in a week or something like that, with like, I don't know, with Thorskin or USUC, the old stuff I used to do. Somebody like, was it Shane Chebsey? It was somebody that was like, right, look at your window. Now imagine 100 people staring back at you.
That's scary.
And that's how many people are listening. That's a really good way to do it. But I feel like I need to...
But I mean, if even 10 people were staring outside your house, you'd be like, can I help you?
Why are you standing outside my house?
We're here to listen.
Just make with the pictures of the naked ladies, okay, please?
I'm going to refer to Monty Python again today. We're here for the Messiah.
I was thinking of Monty Python earlier. I was walking past Coleham School.
Who walks around not thinking of Monty Python? If it's not on replay in your head all the time, what are you doing?
I was I do love Monty Python. I was thinking there was an squashed orange on the floor, and I was thinking of, like, you know, the scenes where they walk through the shame thing where they're throwing fruit, and like somebody throwing a full orange and then stopping going, who throws an orange? Like, I just saw this orange and I just thought of that in my head
so much.
It's just it's not an actual, I don't think that's a Monty Python thing. It's just like a Monty Python-esque thing.
Yeah. No, I totally get that.
But no, thinking about what you guys were saying just about measuring your own successes and how you feel and how it makes you feel.
Yeah.
That's
Are you enjoying your life? That's your measure of success.
And that's what I've had to do. I've had to reel things right back. I'm not doing the radio anymore. There's the plan for stuff in the future, but it's going to be on my terms.
Yeah.
Not doing any extra podcasty stuff. Horses and Biscuits is coming away from the Shrewsbury Biscuit because that's not doesn't have the Shrewsbury Biscuit name.
Okay.
Biscuit International was a great idea. Again, that doesn't have the Shrewsbury Biscuit name. So I'm like Batman.
How many biscuit related?
I'm like Batman. Yeah, biscuit guy. I've even labelled my son Mini Biscuit. He's got it on his T-shirt.
Oh, that's so cute.
Yeah. All biscuits.
Yeah, I think there's definitely a need to do that, though, because if you're externalizing your happiness, essentially, you're externalizing the quality of your life to stuff that you can't control. You have no control over somebody downloading it, how many people download it. 1,000 people could download it one day and 4 the next, you know, and you have no control over that.
And I'm sorry to use a very misogynistic tone, and again, I'm going, this is grey area, but I feel dirty whoring myself out to likes and reactions on social media.
Yeah.
I feel like that's just a horrible way to live. I want to make stuff that I'm good with, I'm happy with, and I enjoy. And I feel like that just shows
I don't think that's a misogynistic way to think, though. I think that it's about you enjoying you for you and not necessarily
I meant
wanting
the term whoring myself out. Like.
Yeah, but you're not there to please other people. And again, I do this with the ladies on the shoots. It's when we take a picture, we pick our angles when we do a selfie. Men sort of like to take a picture from sort of like a down angle, and they're like, I
know. I go for the high up.
And I'll look macho and big and muscular, and I'll pose and puff my chest out. And women take very more submissive poses, where we take it more generally from above and make our faces look younger, eyes look bigger. It's all about us taking a picture in a way that we think other people will like us.
Yeah.
And that you can't control whether other people find you attractive. You can't control whether other people like you or don't like you. No matter how good you look in a picture, it doesn't, you know what I mean? But it's about learning to go, I like how I look in the picture, or I don't care how I look in that picture. It's not about other people liking you.
It's a weird thing how, if you feel this way, the same way as I do, other people probably don't, but like, I will see myself from a certain angle. I'll be like, oh, but I'll see myself from another angle, and I'll be like, oh, yeah, do you know what? It's not that bad, Alex. It's not that bad.
It's such a British response. It's not that bad.
It's all right, I guess.
Oh, Bill Bailey does my favourite jokes. He's like, that's the standard of... Everyone else is like, the Australian's awesome. Yeah, I'm awesome. Yeah, I'm great.
That's cool.
And then the move to England, we're like, not too bad.
I love that you're quoting Bill Bailey. I think that's great. We should do more of that on the show.
Beautiful.
He's a great guy.
Yeah, he's just everything. Bill Bailey's just everything. So wonderful. Someone's done a little crochet version of him. Have you seen?
No.
Oh, it's so.
I guess that's
so
really
happy.
easy to do.
He's so happy with it. Like, he posts it all the time. I think the person that did this knit, so they created a pattern and made a Bill Bailey crochet doll, and they've sent it to him. He has it now. He's over the moon. He's so happy with it. I mean, that's success, maybe. That's what the definition should be. Do you have a crocheted version of yourself?
If anybody wants to make a crochet version of me, crack on. I would die inside. That'd be amazing. I really would. Send in your crochet biscuit, guys.
I don't know if I'd want to see a crochet version of me, which is like half dressed in the woods. That would be the only way to do it.
I guess you could do some cool stuff with like ivy.
I tend to use material, actually, sort of, because I don't want to bring sort of like fake ivy or put actual ivy on people, because your skin can have reactions and stuff. But I tend to use like very soft materials.
Yeah. You were talking about how certain angles, things, you got to embrace that. But there's got to be a fine balance, I guess, between getting the best out of your client at the time.
Yeah.
So, do you ever do things? Do you ever take things from an angle, and your client's kind of like, "What are you doing? Don't do that." Where they know that that's where they would normally take a picture and it'd be awful, but you do it and it's amazing. Do you know what I mean? There's quite a few things that will crop up in a shoot. So I obviously can stand meters away, and you're not going to be able to get a picture of yourself from the angles that I get. But I definitely have women go, oh, could you not shoot there? Because I feel like my tummy's a bit on display or something. You know what I mean? I'm like, yeah, but this is about what it is. And you got to remember, when you go on a shoot, let's say it's the Eve package, right? And you get 5 free pictures with the Eve package. You don't just get those 5 pictures, right? You get a choice of 25 pictures that I'll take. But I don't just take 25 pictures. Right? I don't just go out for an hour and take 25. You come back with like at least 200. When I first started out, actually, this is how you know you're getting better as a photographer, because you go out and you take 600 pictures, and then you take 5 and 4 the next time. Next time you can get better, and you need less pictures to be taken to get the good ones. Of course.
But I still include funny ones, and I don't, I don't edit them, and they don't have to pick them. But I include the ones where they're sort of like just having a bit of a funny moment, or. Like I was speaking to Alex McCarthy this morning. She's done a couple of shoots with me now.
Oh, Alex.
Yeah. Oh, she didn't actually say hi to you. Sorry, forgot.
Hi, Alex. No,
so yeah, we've done a couple of shoots now, and yeah, I always send her the funny ones where she's sort of like halfway through saying something, and like you kind of like doing a blink, and you're like, oh. Or there's ones where she's sort of like half undressed or something, and I've turned around and I'm like, oh, okay, are you undressing? But I've already taken a picture, and it's. send them anyway because it's funny.
Sometimes the best pictures you can get are the candid ones, aren't they? Where
Oh,
you're not
100%. When you can get somebody out of themselves. I talk a lot during the shoots and have people talk a lot because
And
it
you
makes
just
them
like,
smile. Yeah. Because when they're telling a story, when they're thinking, when they're feeling, that's when you're going to get the best out of them. I remember this very famous photographer said that it's not her responsibility to make sure her client feels good during the shoot. And she does that because she's there to capture who they are in that moment. So if they're feeling anxious, that's how they feel, that's who they are. If, and she was working big time, like taking pictures of Barack Obama, kind of big leagues.
Oh, okay.
And I mean, that's her way of doing it. And I like to think, actually, no, my job as a photographer is to make sure that my clients feel comfortable and happy, and I get to access that part of them and bring that out, who they would naturally be in a situation without the camera there.
I feel that's really good because you're talking about like this coaching experience that I said that in a really no, I agree with it. I think it's fantastic because you are giving your clients something to take home as well as the pictures.
Like imagine if I cracked the camera out now and I said I'm going to take a picture, you'd be like, oh god, okay, well where do you want me to stand? What do you want me to do with my arm?
When people say smile, I'm like
yeah, you completely forget how to smile, don't you? You're like,
yeah.
Is this good?
My best technique to get the kids to smile at first, I'll go boobies and they laugh and they go boobies and they laugh. Great,
perfect, pure joy. But yeah, no, I think it's definitely a good thing to get people to feel happy and comfortable.
I'm going to ask you a very weak. Have you got your phone on you?
I do have my phone.
Do you have a timer on your phone?
Sure.
You set up a timer for 1.5 minutes.
Oh God. Okay.
Because
I'm so nervous. What are we doing?
Okay, I got a new feature on the Shrewsbury Biscuit. And thank you to everybody that supplied questions for it. I don't want to play the soundbite. I'm going to play it, but I've got to do some work to it because I did some background vocals for it, and it sounds very dour, medieval, as opposed to what I wanted it to sound. I wanted it to sound like an moment, and Jane Pickworth is amazing. But this is a great feature on the show called The Most Important Questions in the World. There we go. You see,
that was amazing.
You weren't expecting that, were you? So Jane Pickworth is amazing. She sings that great, and I was just like, in the background. But
love it.
So 1.5 minutes, I'm going to ask you questions that were supplied to us.
Tell me when you want to press play.
Okay.
My heart is actually going.
Yeah?
Yeah, genuinely. Like, such
You don't know
risk.
what these
I don't
questions
know
are?
what this question is.
There's loads.
Okay.
As many as you can answer in 1.5 minutes, so go as quick as you can, all right?
Do they have to be recognisable answers so you can't just...
This is how we judge you as a human being. Right?
Okay.
So,
because I'm like carrot.
So 3, 2, 1, go. What is your favourite dinosaur?
Oh, Diplodocus.
Okay. Which Beatle and or Spice Girl would you be?
Ringo Starr.
Oh, cool. If you were a pub, what name would you be?
I don't know, Lion Dig.
If you were an animal, what would you be?
Oh, a bear or a bee, I think. Either one of those.
What was your favourite kids' TV programme?
Too big of an... I loved loads of TV growing up. Adventure Time. Okay, yeah, Adventure Time.
That's great.
Yeah.
What is the most important part of a roast dinner?
Oh, parsnips.
Great.
Yeah.
What's your first memory?
I think of my brother when he was born.
Okay.
I was
cool.
I was 2.5, so it's a very early memory. But yeah, I
That's
remember.
very early. What's your favourite holiday destination?
Oh, Greece, 100%. I think I was meant to be Greek and I was born British by accident.
This question is, I laughed at this question when I first answered, but I think it's great. If you were a teapot, what colour would you be and why? It's so random, but brilliant.
Maybe one of those like black china teapots, the really cool ones. I'd like to be one of those. I don't know if I would be, but I would want to be.
The Chinese ones?
Yeah, like the clay handmade ones.
Oh, nice. What is the best sandwich in the world?
Oh, Christmas dinner the day after sandwich.
Oh,
Yes.
That's great.
Oh,
There we
we're
go.
out of time.
That was
Sorry.
good. I love that we generated a swear word in that. That's great. I love that. I actually really love that. It means we did a great job with that. So
Yeah.
well done, folks, for
Is that
sending.
my phone?
Yeah. That's your timer.
Oh, stop.
It's all right.
Okay.
It's fine. It's part of the game. Thank you for that, and thank you for supplying a timer. You did really good.
Thank you for asking lovely, fun questions. I was like, oh, God, what?
You weren't expecting that, were
What
you?
are these going to like? What's your favourite dinosaur? Oh, easy, Diplodocus.
Rip it out.
We're done.
Of course, if anybody's listening to this and wants to get in touch with you and organise a shoot,
Yep.
what kind of packages do you offer, and how do you go about it? You know?
Well, I'm pretty open. So if you've got something in mind, there's one woman at the moment that's sort of doing a subscription package, which is interesting because it is very much about the journey and the development for her, and she recognises it's going to take more than one kind of thing.
That'd be great. Becky, I'm feeling a glow. Let's do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've got packages on Instagram on my website, and then they're generally either one-to-one or in groups. So I do both. The groups are a bit cheaper, and you can sort of get to meet and mingle with other ladies, and they're very wonderful actually, because we do like a women's circle first and do some grounding techniques, and then move into the shoot. So yeah, there's that. Or come along to the gallery. Like, it's going to be amazing.
Gallery, you say?
Gallery? No, not a gallery. We're saying it wrong. It's a gallery.
A gallery.
I'm going to the gallery.
A gallery.
I've never hosted anything like this before, so my only base of what this should look like is actually from movies. We're going all out. It will be here at Highly Flammable Studios, of course.
Yeah.
There's canapes, darling.
Canapes. Champagne?
Canapes, absolutely.
Cava, champagne, bubbly.
And art. Yes.
Art.
We've got local artists actually bringing canvases and painting and stuff. You know, like
cool.
actual art.
Yes.
And then there'll be lots of my photography on the wall, and some it'll all be stuff that no one's ever seen before.
I did a little monologue before last week's show. I mentioned that it's probably stuff that can't be put on social media for obvious reasons.
100%, yes. So there's lots of ladies that have consented to imagery.
How did you get people to do that? Did you willing, or did you have to like bend anyone's?
People want it. I think people are ready to be a bit naughty and a bit, like there's no consequences to it, so it's fine. So we will have a showing of, a lot on show, of pictures that I've taken over the last year that are...
it's all tasteful stuff though, guys.
Yeah, this is the thing.
Beautiful art.
Yes. It's not there for your pleasure necessarily. It's there as part of their journey of self-love. And at the end of the day, with what I do, people are going to think, that's a beautiful woman, regardless of, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's not within my control. Yeah. But the way that
people
do it is...
do you think people are able to tell the difference between photography that's art and smut? That's essential in life. That's just...
It's a really hard line to define, and it's been something I'm very conscious of the whole time. And the way that I define what is pornography in a very short space of time, I'll define it. It's who's it there to gratify? That's what it is for me. If you're making pornography, it's there to sexually entice and please somebody else.
Yeah.
If it's there to sexually entice and please yourself, that's not porn. If it's there to make you feel good about just existing in your body, that's not porn.
I think it's really important that when you take this photography, you're encompassing someone like Dali or Da Vinci or someone that would paint something like that. They didn't have photography back then. If they had photography, they'd probably take pictures like
100%.
that.
100%. The female form has been long admired. I won't be the first and I won't be the last to capture the beauty of women. And it is worth saying, actually, if there are men listening, I do actually do portraits of men. I haven't put them up on Instagram yet. I'm kind of waiting till...
Oh, that's really interesting.
Yeah. So I've got actually a shoot...
How long have you been doing
with
that?
a man tomorrow. And I shot... This sounds so bad. We need new vocab. I shot a man a couple of months ago. Doesn't that sound like not a good sentence, is it? But yes, I did. I went on a photo shoot with a lovely gentleman a few months ago, and he had a wonderful time. It was really, really lovely.
Well, you did the base jumping thing that I probably would never do.
Maybe, I don't know.
No.
You coming out on a shoot?
No. Base jumping.
So you'll jump off of something really high?
I wouldn't. No, I wouldn't do any of that. That's what I'm saying. That's as scary as base jumping.
I thought you were saying that you'd go base jumping.
No, I'm speaking to a base jumper. I would never do
that's
base.
fine.
And it's weird because I'd love to jump out of a plane, but not jump off a building or something like the base jumping. But no, like the adrenaline that's involved in that.
Yes, is the same. Yeah,
It's
a fight or flight. Your amygdala gets triggered.
Yeah,
I love that.
Yeah, I don't like taking pictures with my clothes on.
Yeah,
never mind.
That's fair. That's
Yeah.
fair. And do you know what? I'm actually really fussy about when people take my picture, and it's been a big journey for me to learn to just be okay with other people taking my picture.
In that case, it's worth asking you: do you feel more comfortable with your clothes off taking photos or clothes on?
Depends.
Yeah?
Yeah, I think it depends on the situation. So I've got other photographers I take out with me when I do group work and stuff.
Of course, yeah.
Just so that everybody gets a lot of attention and there's plenty of stuff to go around. I feel pretty comfortable when they're taking my pictures, and I could be completely naked in the middle of the woods, and it's just a wonderful.
And the reason I ask
feeling
is because that feeling of empowerment is powerful.
Yeah.
I imagine.
Yeah,
It's like, I haven't done the bass jumping yet.
Yeah.
Very powerful.
Yeah, it's just liberating. It's just that admittance. And do you know what? It doesn't matter how many times you do it. You still get a little bit of nerves before you do it, and you're like, okay. And there was at one point, I think I'd taken Hayley and Simon, so two of the people that come out with me. I'd taken them both out on a shoot to practice all together, and they were having such a good time chatting, and they were like, Becky, you go get changed over there. We're going to do just a complete nude in the woods, and I'm stood there. Waiting for them to stop talking. I'm like, guys, I'm stood naked. Hello? Oh, sorry. Yes. And every time you just still feel a little bit of nerves, but you get over it within a couple of minutes, and you're like, yeah, do you know what? This is how it's actually meant to be. At what point, did clothes become such a staple that we needed them? You know what I mean? Like,
I don't know. I was going to say something very negative. I'll say it because it's funny, but I don't actually mean it. You see a guy like me, and you understand why clothes were invented. But no. But you're right. It's something like the human body is beautiful in all its stages.
Absolutely.
And we should embrace that a little bit more. I love that what you're doing is positive, and it's been met positively as well.
It has, yeah.
The fact that you're not getting any negative comments or trolls or anything like that is good. It means that people...
it's great. I don't know, actually, because Eminem has this phrase of, it's like, if you meet adversity, good. So it means you stood up for something. I'm like, yeah, but no one's fighting me on this. Is that a good thing, or should I feel like... I genuinely feel guilt. Like, other people have gotten trolled and they've gotten online abuse. I'm like, oh, no one's abusing it. Not an invite, but I just, you know what I mean? Like,
I feel like people will find negative in anything.
They do. But it's just weird that, I'm very happy, don't get me wrong, I'm very happy that no one has abused my business or me or any of my women online. I just think, like, maybe, are we there? Did we get there? Did we do it?
Are we more accepting of this?
Wow.
I think we're living in a different age, though, aren't we? Where we can kind of... I do look back and think about, the swinging 60s when people were kind of always tend to be naked. Lots of pictures of people, festivals naked and stuff. And I'm thinking, has it taken that long to get to just a little bit closer, a little bit further? Do you know what I mean? I
think we're very sort of, as a culture, we're very reactive, and that happens with everything. Like, the first thing you learn about architecture, if you're gonna, is that it's all very reactive. One minute we have straight line buildings, and the next it's all like Baroque, and it's all curves and paisley, and and it happens in fashion. We get short skirts, long skirts, short skirts, long skirts, and so we are always reacting to, oh no, that's back in the past. We're modern. We're going to do the complete opposite. And you'll find that with trends of how liberal we'll feel.
I saw somebody... apparently the roll neck's coming back now, the turtleneck.
Oh, turtlenecks. Did that leave, sorry? Did that go out of fashion?
I remember, was it in the noughties they came back and everybody's wearing them? And then
love turtlenecks.
Yeah, they're
so comfy. It's like getting a hug.
Maybe it's something I could look at as a look for the...
I think the plain black tea works very well for you, don't worry.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, this is what we were meant to talk about.
Plain black tea.
How long have we been going? Have we got time to fit this in? Have you got to be somewhere?
Well, I've actually got a tattoo at 3:00, so I was just actually trying to find her address a minute ago.
Where is it you're having it? Is it in Shrewsbury?
It is actually in Shrewsbury, and we'll do a quick little plug if you don't mind.
Yeah.
I haven't met this lady yet, but her work is phenomenal. She does hand-poke tattoos. She's called Silver Moon Tattoo, and I've followed her work for a while, and I'm very excited to meet her. So she's doing me a tattoo of a jellyfish on my foot today. See if you can guess why.
A jellyfish on your foot? Because you got stung by a jellyfish. I got stung by one as well.
Yeah. But I used to be as a kid, I was very imaginative. I got very scared easily in films. And I don't know if you remember, but back in the 90s, every fantasy film had either like a sinking sand pit, you know what I mean? And I thought, as a kid, I'm going to have to worry about this one day when I'm an adult. Sinking
sand, yeah.
Yeah, and I don't have mum and dad anymore. I'm going to have to make sure I'm just safe from sinking sand pits. Luckily, it hasn't been an issue.
Yeah, I think
was-
it doesn't exist, does it? Apparently, sinking sand. It's not like a.
No, not in the way that movies made it
Movies make
out.
it out, yeah.
But I mean, The Princess Bride was one of my favourite films, and of course, she slips right in the sinking sand. I'm like, oh my god.
And then there's the horrible one with Never-Ending Story with the horse.
Oh yes, don't that will make me cry. That will trigger me to cry.
Traumatizing.
Yeah, jellyfish as well. I was deathly afraid of jellyfish. And then this last year, I don't know if this is an appropriate thing to say, but I'm actually getting divorced. And that relationship meant a lot. Like, it meant everything. Like, it was almost part of who I was. That was how much I was in that relationship. And it was difficult because he was never as matched in that energy. So the worst thing in the world to me was losing that relationship. And then that happened. And actually, I'm okay.
You survived.
I survived. I'm actually happy.
It's
outside of that relationship, and recognizing that was an unhealthy attachment to the idea of a relationship, and not actually about matching.
Did you go through a grieving process for that then?
Oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
I think it was nothing at the start. Like, I had a month of like, well, I'll be fine. You know what I mean? Not feeling it. I was a little bit numb, and then a couple of months of just crying a lot and being sad and wishing I'd done better, and actually then coming out of that, like, why am I guilting myself? I actually did the best I could. I'm like, let's go to couples counselling, let's fix things, let's do, you know what I mean? Like, I was not an unconscious partner. I was in it. There's nothing that I really could have done. And in September, I went out on this wonderful retreat and was taking pictures of ladies in the sea. It was gorgeous, absolutely wonderful experience. And I'm in the sea with my camera, trying to be as still as possible with the waves coming in. I'm like, literally the water's up to sort of like my chest line, and there we go with the wave.
Expensive camera, yeah.
So I'm busy taking pictures of these ladies, and then something mushy touches my foot. And I was like, yeah, something, and it's cloudy. It was the Welsh Sea. I can't see anything. So I thought, just stay still, because if you move, if you panic, you'll drop your camera, you'll stand on it again, whatever it is, and you'll fluster the situation. So I just stayed still, and I was like, oh, that was so gross. And then I got out of the sea after a while. It didn't touch me again. It was fine. And my foot was really itchy. I didn't think anything of it. She wouldn't, just an itchy foot. But it was the other foot, actually, that was itchy, not the foot that was the mush had touched. So I was like, oh. Anyway, we were throughout the day, and I'm wearing my socks and shoes. My foot's like, oh, it's really itchy. But I'm stupid, so I didn't think. It just completely left my head. Like, and I got in a jacuzzi, like, in the evening. And the warm water's really good for jellyfish stings, but it really draws the stuff out. So it's irritating. And at that point, I'd been scratching it all day, sort of without realising. And yeah, so I got this nasty jellyfish sting, and it scabbed over for a couple of weeks. I showed the kids, and they were like, ugh, poked it immediately. Oh, it was so sore. But that was the worst thing that could have happened. I got a jellyfish sting. That was terrifying for me as a kid.
Yeah.
So yeah, the jellyfish sort of represents the ability to have the worst thing happen, and you be okay.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
That's actually beautiful. I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got stung on my leg in Barmouth this year.
Oh.
But it was like
was
it was like long Wolverine scratches down my leg.
Oh, was it?
So I think I got away with it. I
Yeah.
feel like it maybe just grazed me. Could have been worse. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Especially on your leg.
Yeah.
That could have hit someone.
It's weird though. I was just like, I was with Timmy. We were in the sea and we were doing the jumping of the waves and stuff. We were punching the waves and stuff. I just felt this warm feeling on my leg. It didn't hurt right away. I just felt this warm feeling.
It doesn't when you're in the seawater. The salt water's the best thing for it, and you won't really feel.
And I came out and there's this gash on my leg. Oh my god, jellyfish, man!
Yeah,
the worst. And you see these big man o' wars on the sand and stuff, and you think, oh god, they're the worst.
Huge.
We've gone for an hour and 17 minutes. Maybe can we do the body this? I feel like there's this trend going on in Hollywood at the moment, and who am I to say? Because I'm not in Hollywood and I'm not a big celebrity, but like I've seen pictures of Courtney Cox recently.
Yeah.
One of the biggest names in the world. Beautiful. And she's just absolutely destroyed her face with plastic surgery.
Yeah.
Simon Cowell. he's Simon Cowell. Like, he doesn't need to do anything. He's Simon Cowell, and he's had all this plastic surgery, and his face is like melted to one side. Like, what do you think causes that with like the celebrities and things? Do you feel like Instagram and the kind of that life we were talking about before, like everything's perfect and everything's great? Do you think that's a problem for it, or do you think it's like the pressure of trying to stay up there?
Yeah, I think it's maybe less Instagram when you get up to that kind of level. I think it's more paparazzi. I think it's more there's this huge pressure, especially on
red circles,
on women. Yeah. Because there's, I mean, if you can't walk down any sort of shop without seeing 1,000 magazines all poking at someone's stretch marks because they went on holiday with their family, and here's a picture of their mummy tum, and you're like, yeah, she is a mum and she's on holiday with her kids. Leave her alone.
Yeah.
Like, I would, it's such an invasion of privacy, but just boundaries. Like, come on, guys. And I think we like this idea of buying into it being a secret because we see these perfect stars on TV. Like you watch Monica and Friends, and she's like, I mean, if you actually listen to Courtney Cox talk, she was, I think, anorexic, and she was not eating properly.
She has problems, yeah.
So conscious of her weight. And the same with, what's her name? I can't remember the lady that plays Phoebe.
Lisa Kudrow.
That's it. She talks a lot because she recognised that she was taller and she's just a bigger build than both Jennifer Aniston and Courtney Cox. And she talks about it quite openly now, that actually she was not mentally in a good place because she felt bigger, and that was a bad thing. And she wasn't big at all.
No.
But it's this pressure to look perfect because, the camera adds 10 pounds. Or, it's just this very high pressured environment of you need to look young. That's the other thing. Like, actresses don't get work. You either get work if you're Maggie Smith and you're the grandma in a show, or you have to be young and hot. Yeah. And that's the only two things that women can be in shows.
And that's why I really appreciate people that do age gracefully, like your Helen Mirrens and these stars that go grey and they embrace that. And I feel that sends a really good positive message to women.
It is only really in the last sort of 5 to 10 years, I think, that we've seen women in their 40s on TV. Properly, like, and a good quantity. I mean, we're still not at a great quantity, but you know what I mean. Like we're sort of getting there.
I feel like insecurities, and the reason I mention it because I think it kind of fits in with, there's this level of insecurity, then there's this level of insecurity, and there's folks like you that's actually helping people overcome that. Yeah. And because people do read gossip magazines, and they may see pictures of Jennifer Aniston or J-Lo or the Kardashians and be like, I wish I had a body like that. You don't need to have a body like that.
But those magazines are so unhelpful in every dimension. Yeah. It's not even like it's seeing that picture of a star with a mummy tummy out or a C-section scar. Something like that is ever going to help you, because if you're coming at a place from judgment, well, she's not so perfect. That's a place of judgment. You're going to treat her how you're going to treat yourself. The way that you talk about other people is how you talk about yourself in your head. It's such a good symptom of how you're actually narrating your own reality to yourself. And it magazines are a really big gripe, and I will not subscribe to any of them because they're just toxic. They're just,
and the pin-ups are airbrushed to high hell as well.
That's it. I think actually Jennifer Aniston has spoken about going for shoots, having wonderful photography sessions, having fun, and then coming away from the shoot feeling good. She's going to be on the front page of whatever magazine, Vogue or whatever, and then she gets the picture back and actually it looks nothing like her. Yeah. And she's like, well, what's wrong with my face? Like, I've been voted like the hottest woman in the world and all of this stuff. Not that actually matters, but do you know what I mean? Like, well, what was wrong with my face that it needed editing to a point where I don't recognise myself? Yeah. Like, that's not okay. And it's, that's the magazine editors, it's the photography editors, it's, a whole team of people going, let's make this look as good as we can. And it's, you can't really see the quotation marks I just made, but you know what I mean? Like,
I think we get it. We've got it on the audio, I think.
Yeah, it's not healthy for either them to have this distorted view of themselves and what they should look like, and then it's not good for anybody else either.
And I don't know how this question's going to go down, but I am very much aware of the pressures on women and then the misogyny out there in the world. I feel like actually there was something that's going on with football at the moment that is. I've been following Shrewsbury this season, and I love that. But I feel like the football environment is taking a step back when it comes to how they treat women. And I think
actually read that Wales have just started to agree to pay women as much as men?
Yeah, and it was a post on that that
Okay,
actually the comments from the guys on that made me sick, made me so angry. So I'm aware that these things are happening, terrible. But at the same time, I feel like when it comes to insecurities with things like Instagram and people's expectations, I feel like it's catching up with the men as well. There's a lot of men out there that are struggling. I know I do, but I mean that's
100%, yeah.
because I put a bit. I was really. So what happened with me was I was really fat, like got really skinny, really healthy, really buff, and then I went fat again. So that's my problem, is that I was there. I was there, had it in my hands, the palm of my hands.
Right,
And then I
okay.
put the weight back on. That is my issue. I don't care what I look like. I'm not what I was. That's my issue. But when it comes to like pictures on Instagram, when it comes to that, it's catching up. And I'm glad that you're doing things with guys as well with photo shoots and stuff, because I think
It
we
is
need,
important.
we need it too.
Can I ask you an important question?
Of course.
How do you feel in your body?
How do I feel in my
Not
body?
how do you think your body looks. How do you feel? How does your body feel?
Like, in health wise?
Just I mean,
I feel it's different. I feel like I can change. I have different modes.
yeah.
So right now, I feel 6'2", and I feel like I'm muscly. And I feel like a god, and I can speak to anyone about anything. And that's because I'm behind a microphone.
Yeah. You're doing what you're passionate about. Yeah.
Yeah, but downstairs when we were chatting, I was kind of like, "Hi."
Right, okay.
Do you know what I mean? There's a
Yeah.
difference. There's a difference there. And
But I mean, how do you feel? Like, do you feel tired? Do you feel lethargic and easily fatigued? Do you feel slumpy? Do you feel groggy? Do you feel light or bloated? Do you feel sprightly? You know what I mean? Like, there's how does your body feel?
I feel like I'm slowly kind of losing weight. I'm not trying to, but
Sure.
I'm up a
Yeah.
notch on my belt, which is great. Which is a great
Okay.
feeling.
No,
So at the
good.
moment, I'm actually feeling a bit better about myself. Whereas before
Okay.
Christmas, around Christmas, I was kind of like,
Yeah.
and that's where the
That's the like low movement, lots of eating, and
Yeah.
just. I mean, we overexhaust ourselves emotionally over Christmas as well. We get a holiday, we tend to pack it full of stuff and see everybody because we have to see everybody, and overspend on stuff. So there's money worries, and But I think it's so much. What you look like is very interpretive, and how you feel when you look at a picture of yourself is going to project more on that picture. So it's not actually the objective reality of what you look like. It's how your body feels that's more important than how much muscle or fat you carry. It's how do you wake up in the morning? Are you excited to greet your day? Does your body keep up with you? Does it do the things you need it to do? You know what I mean?
yeah.
That's it. As long as you can make peace with, do you know what? Like, I'm not a skinny person, right? And I was a skinny person. I still felt fat. It didn't matter. Like, I was 18, and I look back now and think, what was I thinking?
Yeah.
And I don't have a lot of pictures because I was shy. I didn't want my picture taken because I thought I was fat.
Yeah.
I was a size like 8, you know what I mean? And I had this, from starting puberty, thought I was fat.
Yeah.
And that's
That's kind of common as well, isn't
it's
it?
very common. And we
So
spend
break
our
down those
lives,
barriers, girls.
Spend our lives, we spend our time. Like, we've only got one life. So far as we know, we only have now to live. Why would you accept anything less than feeling good and great and just, do you know what? It doesn't matter. I could be dead in 50 years, I could be dead in 30, I could be dead tomorrow. I'm not going to spend my time, the only time I have, feeling bad about myself because I'm not as skinny as Jennifer Aniston. Who the cares? You know what I mean?
I think that is a great way to end this, because no, you're right. It does.
Yeah.
It's a mindset. It is a mindset, and
Yeah.
it's one that we can definitely all break the barriers down towards. And I feel like I thank you so much for doing what you do, and because it's not just. I know you've got a business, and you are. I hope it's very successful. It seems like it's doing really well. But the stuff you display on Instagram,
Yeah.
will affect people in such a positive way. So
Yeah,
thank you
I
for
hope
doing
so,
that.
yeah.
So it's really important.
Well, thank you for appreciating it and for helping me get the message out and supporting it, and yeah, but thank you for doing what you do.
Thank you. I do. I love what I do. I really do.
Yeah.
Last couple of things that
Sure.
we want to put on this is one, where can people find you?
I'm usually very active on Instagram. I'm a little bit naughty I don't really get on Facebook very much. So yeah, get to me on Instagram or my website. You can always message on there.
And what's spell it out what it is?
It's Lilith Body Positivity Photography. So if you find, just type that into Instagram and you should find me.
There's plenty of posts on the Shrewsbury Biscuit.
Yeah, exactly. And I'll post you some links so you guys can book the gallery, because it's going to be an absolutely phenomenal night.
And finally, the gallery.
Yeah,
Tell people
from
the date.
Movies.
Yeah, and how people can book.
Oh, yeah, the date. That might be an important people to tell. Yeah. It's the 11th of February, 1 year of business. So that's really cool. So it's the 11th of February. It's £25 per ticket. In that, you get your own portrait taken. So please do come in black tie. We're going glam. I've actually painted a wall downstairs. I don't know if you saw it coming in, but it's this big, beautiful black wall with a gold decadent circle in the middle. We've gone Art Deco.
Nice.
Very glam and just, we're going to have portraits because we're going to get dressed up and we're going to feel amazing about ourselves. We're going to have a night. It's a good excuse to get dressed up and just do something special.
I can't wait.
I mean, February's pretty miserable, so let's do something fun with it.
I think me and Verity are coming. We're definitely going to come along.
Yeah, you guys will be there. We've got canapes, we've got Prosecco, we've got, art. And then we've actually got a couple of speakers. So Alex McCarthy will be speaking.
Nice.
We've got Connie Parkin, she will be speaking as well. She's one of the ladies that actually helped me sort of kick this up and get the whole thing going. And she's been I say she's a Lilith ambassador, but she's actually just sort of a guinea pig. It's a nice word for guinea pig. We take her out on test shoots, and she's really challenged me throughout the business and made me grow. And it's helped her as well. So she'll be speaking. I'll have to probably say words as well.
You should do.
And then we'll have like a little movie that I'm making. I'm making like a nice little show reel of the year.
Brilliant. Well, make sure you guys book your tickets. I'll keep posting the link on Facebook as well.
Yeah, please do.
I'll put a little bit at the beginning of this podcast as well, just to remind people.
Yep.
11th of February,
Yep.
£25 a ticket.
Yep,
You get a
7
portrait
p.m.
with that. You get to see some great art and mingle with great people too.
You do, yeah.
Well, thank you very much for chatting to me. I know we've ran over. I'm very sorry, but I've really enjoyed it.
I could love speaking to you.
We could have done another hour. Really could. Thank you guys for listening, and we'll catch you guys next time. Peace out.